Live look now over downtown Wilmington. New parking regulations along one block in the city has calmed some neighbors but concerned business owners. Parking on South Front Street between Nunn and Ann Streets is now reserved for residents only between 9 in the morning and 3 a.m. every day. City Council voted unanimously last month to make that change. WECT Zach Solana is live on South Front Street. Zach, you spoke with nearby business owners. Why are they unhappy with the new parking rules?
Fran, business owners and managers tell me it comes down to a lack of parking nearby for both their customers and their employees. They say restricting parking on this block of Front Street causes both economic and safety concerns. Wilmington City Council voted in September to limit parking access for non-residents on this block of South Front Street after neighbors expressed concerns about safety. But Ben Reingold, who works at Elijah's Restaurant one street over, says the new rule takes away important parking spots from customers and employees.
Our primary concern is employee safety, but even guest safety at that point too, and that available public parking, the street parking, is crucial to that. Asking our employees and staff to walk a mile or more to the downtown parking decks at the end of the night is inviting danger.
Doug Springer owns Wilmington Water Tours, also one street down. He says while his neighbors' safety concerns are valid, businesses in the Chandler's Wharf area were never asked for their input on a possible change.
We understand and agree with those issues. The problem is that this parking program is not going to fix those issues for them, and it puts our employees in immediate danger and also threatens our businesses.
Springer brought his concerns to City Council last week, almost a month after the new rule passed unanimously. Councilman Charlie Rivenbark says it's possible the city could revisit its decision.
Some of the points you've made are very valid, and I appreciate this. We need to go through it and maybe address it again.
Springer says the new parking rule is too restrictive.
They did a 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. restriction, which basically makes it unusable 24 hours a day.
While Reingold hopes the city, neighbors, and local businesses can find a compromise.
And with all due respect, if not for the anchor businesses like Elijah's, Pilot House, and other neighbors downtown, these nearby homes would see a decrease in property value.
As you can see behind me, signs have been placed with flags to alert drivers to the change. Of course, this all started when residents here on this block of South Front Street went to the city and said they had concerns for safety when they were backing out of their driveways and couldn't see past parked cars. We'll keep you updated as this moves forward and if City Council decides to revisit this issue. Fran?
All right, Zach, thanks so much for that update.